Hey guys, Joe here, coming at you with a tournament report from the ARG event in Columbus this past weekend. So I went down to the event because I'm only about 2 hours away, and I figured it'd be a good time, get some trading done, maybe make some money. I wasn't that prepared to play. I mean, I played in the event because I thought I'd have fun and all, but honestly I expected to maybe go like 2-3 and drop. But I did a bit better than expected. I actually managed to top 32. I ended up finishing 17th, which kind of sucks, but it's really good. But 16th would have been a lot better. Anyway, I put another Dragunity Ruler deck, like I did for the OTS. If you haven't seen that profile, it's on my channel. You can go check it out. But yeah, I'm gonna do that deck profile, and then after that's done, I'll talk about my rounds and explain the day. But yeah, so pretty standard. You play the 9 dragons minus the titles. There's just no room because the only way this deck draws bad is drawing all monsters for the most part, and title's the least useful dragon, so it just had to go. You play 3 ducks and 2 phalanx, and then 1 mistletoe. For this event, I opted to still play the red eyes. I almost cut it, and then maybe 5 hours before I went to bed the night before the event, I found a combo out with this card. It's a turn 1 and turn 2 combo, meaning it takes both turns to establish it. But when you get it off, you should basically win. And I liked it, and I just wanted to leave it in for one more day to try it out. And if it proved bad, I'd probably work on taking it out. But so far, it's still good, so I think I'm leaving it in. Flame Guard, I'd cut this for a while, but I put it back in because I knew I'd be playing more mirror matches. I needed more access to Crimson Blader on the spot, and when they crow your phalanx, it's really the only way to get into it. Spells, I ran 2 terraforming. Also, Flame Guard is good just because you have another fire for the blaster, and it makes cards at constants more alive. 3 ravines because it just sets up all the plays. It's crucial in this deck more so than the normal dragon. 3 sword because Pot of Greed, it's kind of good. 2 cards of consonants just for going through your deck. 3 upstart goblins for consistency. 3 reckless for just drawing into your combos and overwhelming your opponent with advantage. I wasn't a huge fan of this card. When I won my OTS, I wasn't playing this. I started testing with it afterwards. Still not a huge fan, but I don't know. The whole day Saturday, there were 2 times where I got locked under it and I lost the game, but it never cost me a match, and for the most part, it worked really well. I double reckless into the 3rd a lot. I never resolved all 3 simultaneously, but I resolved 2 quite a few times. And I want to say that every time I resolved 2 at once, I think I won every game. So, I don't know. It's good if you use it correctly, and I'm starting to learn how to use it correctly, so I'm starting to like it. Warning and Compulse. Bottomless is just too... It's too eh. You have to have it ahead of the play. I mean, you have to have Warning ahead of the play too, but, Warning's good, so it's worth running it. 2 Break. I like Break over Wing Blast, because in the mirror match and versus Prophecy, I don't want to give them their field spell back. So, I don't know. I like Break. Wing Blast is better versus Stardust, but, I mean, if you know the Stardust is coming, you can always just break one of the Synchro materials. It's not ideal, but it is what it is. 2 Emptiness. I still like this card. People are starting to cut it or opt to just play 1, but I don't know. I like it. Yeah. Return. This card's stupid. It should be banned. I played 4 dragon decks, and in 3 of the matchups we sided this out, and the 4th one I forgot to ask. So, ideally we would have sided out in all 4 matchups. Anyway, extra deck. The Adriana's obvious because need them. Giderg. I love this card. I think it's amazing when you get max seed. If you have traps, you go Giderg. You set up your ducks play for the next turn. Same scenario. You get max seed. You don't have traps. Go Sahemoth. Your opponent can't Crimson Blade or lock you, which is the biggest problem, really. I also had one scenario where my opponent had made turn 1 Colossal Fighter, and I simply opted to Sahemoth to banish it because I really had no plays anyway, and I was going to sit behind a probably a scrap dragon to pop it and some back row, and I figured I might as well just make this and banish it rather than waste my scrap dragon turn 1. Also, it saves of Adriana, so that's good too. Stardust and scrap dragon and Colossal Fighter, as well as 2 bladers. I never needed to, but I liked the security of knowing that I had to, just in case. I only bladered, I think, twice the whole day. So, I mean, it was sort of underwhelming, but that was just a situational thing. That's more a testament to my opponents playing smart than anything. The opportunities just didn't present. The Atom for your just combos. The Charger for putting over the Atom after your combos, and, you know, you can hit tokens and things. That never happened, but, you know, it can. Big Eye for taking stuff. I don't know. Dracosax. I think I only made both of them maybe 1 time, but you need to for just in case, and I don't know. It's a really good card. Pretty sure everyone's aware of that. For my side deck, I played 1 DD Crow. I opted to run 0 Maxis, 0 Veilers, and 0 Swift Scarecrows. This is the only hand trap I played, and I do not regret that decision. I felt Maxi was really underwhelming versus everything but the mirror match, and in the mirror match I'd rather just Crow the Phalanx. I didn't resolve this Crow once the whole weekend. I only played 1 mirror match. I didn't get into the Crow. It didn't matter. I don't put it in versus normal dragons. And yeah, so it didn't do anything, but it was there. 2 Vanities Fiends. This won me at least 3 matches, maybe 4. I think 4, but at least 3. It's really good. I like going Fiend with Emptiness set because they struggle for a couple turns. They finally clear this, and then you just flip an Emptiness, and they kind of have that sigh, and they just look sad. 3 Space Typhoons because you don't main them and you need them. And then I play 2 Encore for Ophion. I never ran into Evil Swarm, thankfully. Yeah. But you gotta have it. Bottomless because I don't main it. I like this for the Dragon matchup, as well as Evil Swarm. Basically, any deck where I don't put in Iron Wall, I put in the Bottomless. Yeah. 1 Divine Wrath. After this event's done, I'm considering bumping this to 2. I just really like it for Prophecy. I might cut the Bottomless for a 2nd Wrath. I haven't decided yet. I play the Eradicator because it's an auto-win versus Prophecy if you resolve it. I drew this card once. I only played one Prophecy matchup. I drew the Eradicator game 2, but by the time I drew it, it was such a grind game that I had no way to synchro level 8, so I couldn't get a Dark out, and I didn't have 2 dragons to make the Big Eye. But I won the game anyway, but this would have sealed it right then and there if I could have flipped it, but I couldn't, so it's whatever. 2 Iron Wall for Dragons and Prophecy. Iron Wall plus Vanity's Fiend versus Dragons was just GG all day long. I got that locked down versus my round 8 and 9 opponents. I had double Vanities with Iron Wall at one point, and after like 3 turns, my opponent top decked a Snipe Hunter, and he pitched his whole hand. He popped both Fiends but missed the wall, and he just couldn't come back from it. And, you know, for spellbooks, because they can't fate you, they can't win, really. And then 2 Decrees. Decree was kind of underwhelming. I didn't really play any rogue decks, so I didn't expect it to be that good. I played Gadgets, it was good versus them, and it was good versus Infernities for a little bit, and they finally got this off the board, and then I flipped the Emptiness, so yeah, I guess it absorbed the MST that would have hit the Emptiness, so it kind of won me the game, in a way. And then, I'll go over my matchups really quick. So, I played Dragunities round 1, the mirror match. The mirror match is what I feared most going into this event, and it was really weird. All 3 games by turn 2. I think game 1 and 2 by turn 2, and then game 3 by turn 3, we were all out of resources. Meaning, like, our ravines were all gone. We couldn't search a ducks, and we had, like, no live dragons. And Phalanxes got crowed, or ducks got veilered, or whatever. And and the game sort of just turned into Ducks beatdown, so whoever had better traps just sort of won. I won game 1 off return, I think. I returned, like, Duckses, which is weird. And then we both sided out return, and then games 2 and 3 were just weird grind-out games. Round 2, I played against Trey Massengale, playing Zombie Sworn. I won game 1. Game 2, I think he conversion-sided, kinda. He summoned Dyna set 5 turn 1, which was unexpected. And I just sort of, I lost to Fossil Dyna Card Trooper beatdown, basically. Then game 3, I just sort of misplayed and let him beat me. Not to take anything away from him, he played really well, but he didn't really beat me, I just beat myself, and it's whatever. Then round 3 I played Infernities. Game 1 I had just the opening wombo combo with set 4. He couldn't really do anything. Game 2 he had the standard Infernity wombo combo, set 4, I couldn't do anything. And then game 3, my side deck just overwhelmed him. I had Vanity's Fiend with Vanity's Emptiness. Or, like, I had Fiend. He booked the Fiend, I flipped the Emptiness. Next turn, he killed the Fiend with Break or something like that, taking the Emptiness off the field. And then on my turn, or no, that was my turn, so I summoned a Dragon, and then I sacked it for my second Vanity's Fiend, to just take the game. Round 4, I played against Gadgets that were teching Chain Summoning, which is a card I've never seen before, and it's kind of scary, to be honest. He put massive fields on board and almost killed me. He made it on like 500 life. I don't know if he didn't run Cowboy or if he just didn't think to make it, but for some reason I survived. I won that matchup game 3 in time. It was probably actually the hardest match of the day. Mostly because my losses were due to my own fault, so those don't really count as hard matches. I just lost, and then, I don't know, I think it was the hardest match I played all day. Round 5, I played against Zombie Sworn again. It was Trey's friend, and they were playing the same deck minus, like, maybe 1 or 2 cards, they said. I just played better that game, or that match. I knew how to side. Like, versus Trey, I sided really badly game 2, and then I kind of realized it and sided better game 3, but like I said, I beat myself, and it didn't matter. But for round 5, I sort of knew what I was doing, and it didn't help that round 2, after Trey beat me, his friend kind of walked up behind me and started talking to Trey about their deck. So I sort of knew what to expect, as well as already seeing it, obviously. He knew that I was playing Dragunities because Trey said it, but I knew more of his deck than he knew of mine. I won that one. Round 6, I played against Frazier Smith, and he 2-0'd me because I was bad and unprepared. Like you saw, I sided the Iron Walls because a friend of mine suggested them, and in theory they sounded amazing, but I didn't realize that you can't respond to anything with it. I don't know why I thought you could, but I did, and he sorted, and I tried to Iron Wall, and he's like, you can't do that, and I was like, of course you can't, I'm bad. And then he removed for a summon, and I tried to Iron Wall, and he's like, you can't do that either, and I'm like, obviously you can't do that, why am I being awful? And then, like, the next turn I flipped in the standby phase to stop him, and top decked into Sword, and it's like, why didn't I just Emptiness him instead? I could have Sworded, and, so yeah, my hand was like Sword and 2 Dragons, and I just lost because I couldn't do anything, and it was my own fault, but, yeah. So that was 4-2. I played Spellbooks round 7. It was sort of like my round 1. We just both drew awful. Game 1, he opened Magician, but I warninged it, and then he didn't get the secrets or the other like magicians the whole game, and I just sort of... He eventually won it, because I don't remember what I did, I misplayed, but it was a really long grind-out game. He eventually won it. Game 2... There were 3 minutes left in time with game 2 winding down, and he knew that I was going to win, but he just scooped to get into game 3 before time was called, basically. And then game 3 in time, it was on turn 3, and we were both 8,000 still, and he powered his Magician and swung into Ducks, and I guess I don't know if he forgot Ducks as a fact, or if he was just tired or distracted, or what the case was. But he swung into Ducks at 17 because he boosted himself. So his Magician died, he took 200 damage, so at that point it was 8,000 to 78, and he had to pass, and his Fate was dead because his Magician died, and I just sort of, I didn't drop a game, but I dropped so much that I got him under 2,000, I think. Put up a really big field with Draco Sacks and things and trap cards, and he just couldn't recover, basically. So I basically won off his misplay. It allowed me to capitalize. Round 8, I put dragons. This is what I was talking about with Vanity's Fiend Iron Wall. Game 2, I had Fiend Iron Wall with Emptiness set, and he just kept setting monsters to stall. I eventually summoned a Dux with a Phalanx equipped and just started smacking for 19 every turn until I won. And then game 3, I had Fiend Iron Wall again. I locked him down for a bunch of turns. I eventually summoned a second Fiend just to feel more secure in case he setted Fire Ferrets or Rykos or whatever. And he eventually played a Snipe Hunter. He had 4 in hand and used his effect all 4 times. And he hit both my Fiends, but he missed the Iron Wall, so ultimately I still won the game because he couldn't summon anything. And on my turn, I just normal Dux and started poking again. And then round 9, I played dragons again, and it was basically the same thing as round 8, just Fiend and Iron Wall and Emptiness sort of locked him down. He eventually blasted my Fiend and passed, and then I summoned a Stardust to protect the Iron Wall and set an Emptiness. And at that point, I had already resolved all 3 Reckless Greed, so I was at like +3 or something. And it was just too much advantage for him to come back. And round 9 was my only 2-0 victory of the day, which is kind of strange. But so yeah, I finished the day 7-2, and going into round 9, I was my ranking was 17, or not 17. My ranking was 16, and then I won. So I thought my chances of topping were pretty damn good, but somehow I finished at 17th, which is unfortunate. But yeah, so I finished 17th. My friend finished 18th. We kind of got annoyed by that, so we left the night of day 1 rather than staying for day 2. But it is what it is. When it's all said and done, I guess I played well, and I guess that's what matters. I should take that away from it. So yeah, that was my recap of the ARG Circuit Series in Columbus. And if you guys live anywhere near one of the next Circuit Series events, I would highly suggest you check it out. It was a lot of fun. And yeah. Well, thanks for watching. If you want to see my OTS profile, I'd suggest you check that out. The build's a little bit different from this one. It's a little bit techy, and you can kind of see the progression from that to this one, and I don't know. It's something to watch if you're bored. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you learned something or benefit in some way from this. And if you guys want to trade, check out my trade binder, and subscribe if you feel like it. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a nice day, and yeah, later.